Hello, hello. Welcome. Here we are discussing the last of the A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 1 so that we can move on with our lives. We've been talking about this for 2 months. Here we are. I'm joined by Carmine of Red Team Review, and we were discussing before everything started. Thank you, Gecko. He's excited too. We were excited. We were talking about Germany and Japan and the similarities between Germany and Japan. And
What a way to
Carmine
start
was
a
quite
fucking
surprised
what a
about
way to
about a few.
start a fucking stream. Jesus Christ.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, we'll talk about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Don't get me wrong, but we were discussing. So I lived in Germany for 3 years. I lived in Japan for a summer. So I know German society a little better than I know Japanese society. But then again, I had a Japanese girlfriend, so I was more exposed to Japanese culture than German culture. But I was saying that there's a similarity between Germany and Japan, in which um, we think of the Japanese today as being these like incredibly cutesy, like detail oriented but cutesy people. The girls are girly, and everybody's got their fucking stuffed animals and uh, anime here and there, and their drawings have all these girls with their big eyes, and it's a very cutesy oriented culture. And I was saying, like, but you don't realize is that, like, Germany is very similar to that. Like, and he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh my God. Like, first of all, you think that, like, in Germany, like, girls wear their hair in braids all the fucking time because it's cutesy. And when people say goodbye to each other, it's choose. Like, they are so cutesy at different times. And, like, they love, like, dressing their little kids in these cute little, outfits with like, I don't know, like the the it's not exactly like the official lederhosen thing, but they dress them in these like cute little shorts, and it rains a lot, so they have these cute galoshes that they send them out in. Like, the Germans are very much, yeah, that's true. Don't forget Tschüssi. Sometimes they don't say just Tschüss, they go Tschüssi for goodbye. So, and it's funny because, like, these two societies that are very cutesy, they of course have this, like, very savage past. Like, no prisoner of war was treated worse than those captured by the Japanese. Like, and obviously we all know that the Germans, did the Holocaust. I mean, you know, not everyone knows that, but yes, that happened. So it's very interesting that those two things can be together. This a society that wants to be so cutesy, with also, like, this very, and maybe it's the cutesiness is trying to hide and paint over the savageness, or something. Um, but if there's one thing about um, the Sound of Music, and I understand the Sound of Music is Austria, and it's American perception of Austria, but still there's this, like, if you ever watch the Sound of Music and how those kids are portrayed and how cute they are and everything, like, you feel that in Germany, in many respects. But man, oh man. But we were talking about German chocolate and German Haribo, like the gummy bears. Like, Germans are obsessed with candy. And so, like, it's a very common thing. Like, after work, like, a German would be like, "Ooh, like, which new Ritter Sport am I going to try this today?" Ooh, and so they go to the grocery store and they look at the selection of the fucking 200 goddamn Ritter Sport varieties, and they're like, "Ooh, today should I try a chocolate cookie?" And they like, drunk Germans, like, they'll go into the convenience store and they'll be like, I'm gonna get Haribo gummy bears. Like, that's just, it's so odd. It's not what it's not what you'd expect. So Carmine was surprised. So Carmine was surprised, but
I mean,
you just laugh at the whole thing. You're like, what?
I did so the audience isn't confused. We were literally just talking briefly about this. I did totally not expect them to go off on it
Oh,
at
because
all.
there's so much. Ritter Sport is the goat. I mean, Ritter Sport is. I mean, of
It's
course
okay.
it's better than Hershey. Of course.
Yeah,
Ritter
Hershey
Sport
sucks.
is the fucking goat. And like people that are like Brits that are like, but Cadbury, no, it's Swiss chocolate. No, like Ritter Sport is perfectly balanced.
Actually,
It's like not too
actually,
rich. It's not too sweet. It's
let
like
me send
perfectly
you this.
balanced.
So,
Um,
to explain this to the audience, a friend of mine, they sent out I got a PO box recently, and a friend of mine, they sent out some chocolates for me to try. And now I'm having like a bunch of people from my community from all over Europe, and a couple people from South America just send me chocolates now. That's a whole fucking thing now. But
yeah.
this one person, they
These
sent
like,
me chocolates. And I the ones I've tried, I put it on a tier list and I put it up in my
yeah. Oh,
Discord
that's
server.
interesting.
So for me, S tier is this Brazilian chocolate called Prestigio, which is like a coconut thing. This
Yeah.
Happy Hippo thing, I'm told, is like the greatest thing ever. For me, I would put it at a B tier. I'm not a big fan of wafers. I just tried the Milka
I
Max
mean,
today.
the thing is, I'm so biased as an American. Like, you don't love a fucking good Kit Kat.
Nah, I think Hershey tastes like shit. I hate
I
Hershey.
the,
It tastes like vomit
the
to
thing
me.
is, when you're raised on Hershey, like Hershey seems normal. Like, I understand that like everybody else like is like, how can you say that Hershey like doesn't taste like anything? And you're like, yeah, because like you got to remember, like Americans like at Halloween we're shoving like 45 chocolate bars in our mouth, so we need to have chocolate bar to taste like nothing. Because if you were sitting with some of these European chocolates, they're so rich and flavorful. You're like done after 2 squares. You're like, oh, that's good. I'm gonna save this for later. You know, like Hershey, you can just fucking eat and eat and eat, which is the point. You know, like, but the thing is, like, where you're raised and like what you're raised on, like, obviously affects your taste. Like, I understand objectively Hershey is shit, but I'm an American and I was raised on it, so it seems normal. You know, so what
I'm
are you gonna
sorry to
do?
hear that. Look,
It,
I
I mean,
normally don't
it's
like.
in the middle of a fucking s'mores. You think I can't like? You think when I get a Hershey bar, I'm not thinking about like a romantic time of camping and being by a campfire and
So
like
it's
having graham
nostalgia.
crackers and like you're
It's
like
nostalgia for
slowly
you.
roasting my marshmallow until it's golden and it's getting and putting it with the two perfect like Hershey's squares. Like you think that memory, I can take that memory out and divorce it from a fucking
Sure,
Hershey bar. Like fuck them.
sure.
Like, you know, like
But you
it's
also need to understand something. As a Brazilian person, Brazilians take their chocolates very seriously, like the French, and therefore, a lot of what I've tried in the United States fucking sucks. Like Hershey suck, Kit Kat is okay, M&M's
yeah.
suck. I think the best chocolates you guys have here in America. You may not like what I have to say here, but
Uh-huh.
I think Snickers are pretty decent.
Snickers are great. Look,
I
I'm a
would put
big fan
Snickers.
of look, I will tell you my favorite of all the American candy bars, I think is whatchamacallit. And I like whatchamacallits. I'm,
Whatchamacallit? What the fuck is that?
look it up, motherfucker. Whatchamacallits are great.
Let me see. I have never seen this in my life. What is this? What is in this? What is this? Made with chocolate, peanut flavor, crisps, and caramel. I
I'm a
have
big
pressed. I've
crisp. I'm a big crisp person. Give me a crackle. I fucking love crackles.
never seen this in my life. Like you guys have a bunch of like random ass mediocre chocolates in the U.S. Like Payday. Who the fuck Payday?
Payday is one. Payday is a Snickers without chocolate. Or no,
Ugh.
it's a Baby Ruth without chocolate. A Payday is a Baby Ruth without a chocolate on the outside. That's all it is.
Mm, I
You've had a
promise
Baby
you,
Ruth, yeah?
nothing. Yes, nothing in the United States goes above a C for me, and I would put a Snickers at a C.
Well, I will tell
Nothing
you
goes above.
this. I will tell you this. And coming back, some of us put Reese's is by far the most overrated candy. I mean, they
Yeah.
recently changed the Reese's formula here,
Hmm.
where they changed the oil for in the chocolate. But I will say this that Reese's is super common in America, and during Halloween, when you're doing your Halloween trading, thanks, Gecko. Um, so what a lot of people don't realize, like Halloween, like they watch TV. Like if you're not in America and you watch TV and you see the Halloween kind of situation, you kind of have this like idea of what Halloween is, but you forget that like Halloween also involves this period of trading your candy after Halloween with the other kids, and this discovery of like how markets work, because you're like trying to figure out like how much this house gave me a fucking Charleston Chew. How much is that worth? Nothing. You know, like Reese's peanut butter cups were always the gold standard. They were always the most valuable thing to have. And I fucking love a Reese's peanut butter cup. What are you talking about? And I will tell you that like Europeans often had trouble getting Reese's peanut butter cups in Europe, and Europeans would tell me all the time, "Can you bring me Reese's?" Like as a thing. So like they understand generally that. So I mean, I understand, Daniel, that you can have your own personal opinion about Reese's peanut butter cups, but I'll tell you that like objectively, people fucking love Reese's peanut butter cups. Like, come on. Like, it's why they've made a million knockoffs. Trader Joe peanut butter cups, sunflower cups. Like, everyone fucking knows that like a Reese's peanut butter cup is fucking gold. And so like, what can you do? Like objectively, like versus say Hershey's, which no one fucking wants outside of America. Like no one wants a fucking Hershey bar outside of America. You'd be lying on the street and no one would pick it up in Europe. Okay. Like that's how worthless Hershey bars are. Right. But at the same time, a Reese's peanut butter cup, you know, come on. You got to objectively understand that like, other people love it, even if you don't.
Nobody would pick it up. Lying in the street. You'd be in the middle of the Holdemore. Nobody would pick that shit up.
I know, right? But
hey,
of course,
quick,
like before, again, like I'm super you know, I mean, it's funny because people are like, oh, Preston's so self-loathing as American. But at the same time, I'm very American. Like, you know, like my food tastes have been completely shaped by American culture. My music tastes completely shaped by American culture. My fashion, the way I talk, like, you know, it's like, it's, you know, in one ways I am like 500% American, but at the same time, like, you know, like I understand objectively all the things fucking wrong with America and everything that we've done wrong. But at the same time, do I like fucking lots of ice in my goddamn drink? Of course I do. Do I guzzle Coca-Cola? God. Yeah, I fucking guzzle Coca-Cola. Do I eat a shit ton of breakfast cereal? Absolutely, I'd eat a shit ton of breakfast cereal. like, you know, I'm straight up American.
This is why I love you, dude. I always put a shit ton of ice in my drink. I always get made fun of this. Like, you realize you're getting a lot less drink. I need
that's
it
what
cold.
I'm saying, man. You can never,
it needs to be cold. Like, who the fuck? What kind of monsters are drinking lukewarm soda?
But at the same time, it's abused. Of course, it's America, and you go to some places and they fucking fill the cup up with like crushed ice to the limit, and then they put in like 2 drops of drink, and you're like, fuck you. which is why like heavy ice, the American tradition, pairs so well with the other American tradition of free refills, you know, like which leads to the American tradition of obesity. It all leads together. It all leads together, man. You know,
hey, before we move on from the chocolate combo, do me a favor. Put up that chocolate that I like. I just gave it to you here, the Prestigio. That's my if anybody's ever near like a Brazilian store and you see this chocolate here, just get this.
I understand, you know, the chocolate comes from Latin America and all, but for some reason I've never really had a great Latin American.
Oh, I love that. So there is a Brazilian store near me, and 1 bar of those is $2. But this fucking asshole Trump, his tariffs made 1 bar $4. It's just not worth it. It's just not. I love it so much. That's S tier to me. Mwah, I love it. That's S tier.
There are these weird things like if you ever go to Canada, there's this chocolate bar in Canada called Mr. Big, and it's like why this candy bar never made it to America, I don't know. But they're like somewhat popular candy bar in Canada, like Mr. Big. When you're this big, they call you Mr. is the slogan. It's like, why
That's genius. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's a wafer candy bar though, so you wouldn't really like it that much.
Not a big fan of wafers.
Yeah.
What were we talking about again?
Germany, chocolate, cutesiness, the need to like cover a savage past with like cutesiness, you know? I mean, in like 50 years, America is going to be producing super cutesy shit, you know, right now, you know, to cover all of our crimes. Oh God. It's going to be nothing but cutesy shit, man. Oh.